This is the NoVA-1 EDC Bowie knife. This is a collaboration between myself, as you can see from that giant logo on the prototype, and my good buddy, the great and powerful Matt Chase of Hogtooth Knives. Now, if you know this channel or been watching my content for any period of time, you know that I'm a huge fan of Hogtooth knives, and my daily fixed blade carry is almost always a Hogtooth knife because they are awesome and they carry wonderfully. I have a lot of small and medium-sized fixed blade knives that just don't get carried because they don't carry as well as some of the others. And in my opinion, Hogtooth makes some of the best EDC Tantos, or EDC fixed blades. And it all started for me with this EDC Tanto. This is a regular model of Matt's. Matt is an ABS Journeyman smith, so he's a very well accomplished bladesmith, and he does a lot of work similar to this. This was my first Hogtooth knife, my 50th birthday knife. Quite an extravagant build, but to make ends meet and to make more knives than just this kind, he offers the Tanto and some other models like the Ruffian, and they are of 154 cm blade steel, water jetted out, and then everything else is done by hand. And that is the case with this, the NoVA-1, our collaboration knife. This knife is water jetted out of 154 cm blade steel, and then the deeply hollow ground bevel and the swedge and the sharpening and the handle and the acid stonewash and everything else is done by Matt up in Massachusetts. Handmade 100% in America using American materials, designed by two Americans. So this, again, just to reiterate, this is Matt's platform, my blade, NoVA-1. As we continue, if we choose to do more, we will change the blade shape, keep the same platform, and call that one the NoVA-2, NoVA-3, and so on and so on, so on and so forth. So this, let's see, let's measure this out. I haven't even really measured this. 1, 2, 3.5 inches in blade length. That's about 3 1/4 cutting edge. You've got this nice subtle recurve here. That recurve is meant to accelerate cutting, A, and B, as you use this over the years, you will probably be cutting mostly in this area, and as you sharpen through, that recurve will eventually be sharpened out, and you will have you will still have a nicely maintained Bowie shape there without having it turn into a fillet knife. So some of the changes that will happen from this prototype to the production models, I'm putting that in quotes because Matt is going to be doing these one at a time, or a batch at a time, and all by hand. So to call it production is a stretch. But anyway, before we go into production with this, a couple of things will change on the prototype. Number one, the giant logo, which I find glorious and beautiful, will actually be shrunk down to fit on the flat, kind of where it says prototype. They will be numbered right here, and that number will be out of 50. That is our maximum we are going for here in this pre-order, 50. It might not make it to 50, but if it does, it will be a number out of 50. No matter how many we end up making, they will all be numbered. That is part of the point here. These are special models here. Definitely special to me. Secondly, this 1-inch row of jimping will be moved up to where my thumb more naturally falls, right there on the spine, and will no longer be there. And then thirdly, these red liners will be deep, like a deep forest green. For the NoVA-1 release, all will be shipping with maroon linen micarta handles. Maroon is my favorite color, and I decided for this first one we should go with that. I have a growing collection of knives with maroon micarta, and to me it's just beautiful. So let me show this off with a couple of knives that you may have seen here. First of all, there it is with the EDC Tanto, the knife from which this was born. I love this thing. I carry this quite a lot, but now that I have the NoVA-1, I've sort of kicked it out of my belt. Another one by Matt Chase and Hogtooth Knives that I've been carrying quite a bit. This was my birthday knife this year. This is the Hogtooth Ruffian. This is about as large as I can go carrying in the waistband at the 3 o'clock position. I have my most viewed video out there is a short showing how I carry this. And boy, this is a great knife. But I did want to make the NoVA-1 just a little bit smaller because though this one is comfortable for me to carry, it is a larger EDC fixed blade. So most people, I'm thinking a lot of people might find this too big. So sticking to this size is the way to go. And I'll show it to you with my first Hogtooth knife, the Birthday Fighter. This is a 15N20 and 1095 pattern weld steel of his own making with a wrought iron guard from the Longfellow Bridge in Boston and a nice stag handle. This loveless sub-hilt fighter model took Matt quite some time to make, and that sheath is beautiful too. He's great with leather. This will be shipping with Kydex. He does make leather sheaths for these, I think, but it kind of negates the purpose of an everyday carry knife. So I'm going to go with Kydex on this one. He ships all of his Kydex with the Discreet Carry Concepts clip. This small clip is great because you're not married to going over your belt. Sometimes I find, like say with this larger clip, when I go over my belt, I cannot cant the angle of the knife when I sit down because it's locked on. This one, with that short clip, either goes right on the pants for me because I wear it in the waistband, or right on the pocket seam. Sometimes I carry this in my pocket and the handle sticks out part of the way. Or you can go right over or you can go right over a nylon belt, and that way you can change the angle of carry as your day goes through. You're not locked onto the belt. Great Kydex here. He does a really good job with his Kydex. That to me is a good sign if it pops right off. You got this nice thumb release for quick and discreet release, or you can just tug it out naturally. Now, I wear this one in the waistband at 3 o'clock, as I do all my fixed blades, and it goes right there like this. That's hiding in the pants, and then this is easily accessible. That might not be a legal or practical carry for you, so these sit nicely in the pocket. They also drop in the pocket pretty well too if you take off this clip, and then you just pop it off and here you go. So how you carry it, of course, is 100% up to you. I could just gaze at this all day, but I understand I have a hand in designing this, so it doesn't make sense for me to call it beautiful. Of course I think it's beautiful, otherwise I would have changed the design. But let me know what you think. Do you like that Bowie blade? Do you like how that swedge is ground to a nearly zero edge? The tumbling process takes off the sharp edge there, but you can use this swedge for breaking things. Well, I wanted it there to simulate a swedge on a fighting Bowie. No lanyard option for this one. Okay, let me show it with a couple of knives you know the size of. Here it is with a PM2. Shorter handle as usual. Longer blade as usual. And there it is with a 3-inch RSK Mark I from Hogue and Doug Ritter. So it is a medium-sized knife, not too big for carry, and certainly not too big for use or intimidating to pull out. I've been using this for pretty much everything. I've been carrying it nonstop, and man, it cuts really well. It comes super sharp. He makes things so sharp. I am thinking, I have stropped this quite a bit, and I am thinking that a toothier edge on this 154 CM is better than the high polish I put on it. When it arrived, it had a slightly toothier edge. It had more of a bite, kind of a little bit more like this ruffian. And when this finally dulls out and I end up resharpening it, I think I will give it a slightly toothier edge. That also makes that recurve even nastier. Okay, let me show you this. With a couple of common fixed blade knives, here it is with the cold steel Kobun, considerably smaller. Here it is with similar in spirit, the Street Bowie. Similar in spirit, certainly, by Spyderco and Fred Perrin. This one makes a good throwing knife, by the way, if you're doing no spin up close throwing. And lastly, this is a great EDC fixed blade knife. This is the Tops Rapid Strike. And yeah, this one used to get quite a bit of carry before I discovered Hogtooth and some of the other knives I have. But a great little carry knife nonetheless. And but this is the featured item here. If you feel like it, you can take those Corby bolts out and remove the handle to clean the blood, sweat, and tears from beneath the handle and the viscera and other stuff that happens when you use a knife. So here it is, people. You know I've been talking about it for a long time. I hope you like the way it looks. And if you get it in hand, I hope you love the way it feels and cuts. You know how I feel about Bowie knives, the quintessential American knife. And so I just felt like for this first effort, this first outing in this collaborative effort with Matt Chase of Hogtooth Knives, we would go with a Bowie. And of course, hollow ground. Okay, so we are limiting this to about 50 pieces. If it's less, fine. If there's demand for more, we'll do it in another pre-order. We'll do a whole nother release of these. But 50, and we're going to say by March 31st, by the end of March, this will be complete. I will announce a few days before we end the pre-order. I just, having never done this before, I'm still testing the waters here. So that is what we're doing. We've already had 10 ordered. Thank you everyone to everyone who's ordered them thus far. I released this early to my patrons, and some of them snapped at the effort or snapped at the offer, and I'm very psyched about that. In any case, thank you for watching this and checking out this knife. I'm very proud of it, and I'm especially proud that Matt Chase of Hogtooth Knives is making this. All right. Thank you all for watching.